Hello everybody. Once again, new mic, so I have no idea how loud to speak. But today is a Taylor Swift centered video because I have been a Swiftie for a little over a year now. I know I'm late to the party, but I feel like I have to explain why I like her music. Let me tell you, blame the TikTok live streams of the Eras tour. Because last year, back when it was in the American, US leg, I got a live stream of it on my For You page on TikTok for some reason. And I just I knew some of her songs because, you know, it's Taylor Swift. She's been on the radio for years. But her stage presence was what got my attention. And then I'm an English major. I know about so much about writing. My major is essentially a creative writing major, but it's technically general English, but it's the same courses and stuff that I have to take. And it's a 4-year program. It's a bachelor's program. And I am 2 years into that. So I know a thing or two about writing, and when I got into her because of the stage presence, I started getting into her lyricism because she's such a good writer. Take it from a writer, she's a good writer. So we are going to read some of my favorite lyrics for ASMR, and we're going to start with we are not starting with anything from Lover. There's nothing from Lover in this video, unfortunately. Sorry, Lover fans. But this is the deluxe version of the Lover album. It's a CD, and it has journal entries from Taylor. And in this version, this is version 4, she has All Too Well lyrics in it. Her handwriting is a bit hard to read, but I will manage. I do have a pencil to kind of help me follow along. And this is not the 10-minute version because the 10-minute version wasn't out yet. All Too Well 10-minute version specifically is one of my all-time favorites from her. I also don't think this is the full song. I'm not entirely sure. It could be. It very well could be. But let's just get reading. I walked through the door with you. The air was cold. Something about it felt like home somehow. And I left my scarf there at your sister's house. And you've still got it in your drawer even now. Oh, your sweet disposition and my wide-eyed gaze. We're singing in the car, getting lost upstate. Autumn leaves falling like pieces into place, and I can picture it after all these days. And I know it's long gone, and that magic's not here no more, and I might be okay, but I'm not fine at all. There we are again, Little Town Street. You almost ran the red 'cause you were looking over at me. Winded my hair, I was there. I remember it all too well. Photo album on the counter. Your cheeks were turning red. You used to be a little kid with glasses in a twin-sized bed. Your mother's telling stories about you on a t-ball team. You taught me about your past thinking your future was me. And I know it's long gone and there's nothing else I can do. And I forget about you long enough to forget why I needed to. There we are again in the middle of the night, dancing around the kitchen in the refrigerator light. Down the stairs, I was there. I remember it all too well. Maybe we got lost in translation. Maybe I asked for too much. But maybe this thing was a masterpiece till you tore it all up. Running scared, I was there. I remember it. And you call me up again just to break me like a promise. So casually cruel in the name of being honest. I'm a crumpled up piece of paper lying here because I remember it all too well. Time won't fly, it's like I'm paralyzed by it. Like to be my old self again, but I'm still trying to find it. After plaid shirt days and nights where you made me your own, now you mail back my things and I walk home alone. But you keep my old scarf from that very first week, 'cause it reminds you of innocence and it smells like me. You can't get rid of it 'cause you remember it all too well. There we are again when I loved you so, back before you lost the one real thing you've ever known. It was rare, I was there, I remember it all. It was rare, you were there, you remember it all too well. I think this journal idea was like so cute, and like it has pages for other Swifties to like write their own stuff in it. I might start writing my own poetry in this, but there's a CD and everything for Lover. But now I'm going to pull out my iPad so I can do the other lyrics, because I don't have a journal or like a lyric book for the other ones, aside from one, but I'll get to that. For this next one, this is actually from my favorite album from her. If you couldn't tell by the blue eyeshadow, I love 1989. I have before I was even a Swiftie. Like even back when I only knew the hits, I just preferred 1989. And I actually was going to wear a off-brand 1989 Taylor's version sweatshirt, but the day I'm filming this, it is 90 degrees, and I don't film with my AC or overhead fan on because they're too loud. So even just in this t-shirt, I'm already sweating. But I'm busting out my iPad and I'm just going to pull up the lyrics and read from there. So unfortunately I only picked one from 1989 because I didn't want this video to get too long. And my all-time favorite one from 1989 is Wildest Dreams. So that is our 1989 pick. He said, let's get out of this town, drive out of the city, away from the crowds. I thought heaven can't help me now. Nothing lasts forever, but this is gonna take me down. He's so tall and handsome as hell. He's so bad, but he does it so well. I can see the end as it begins. My one condition is, say you'll remember me, standing in a nice dress, staring at the sunset, babe. Red lips and rosy cheeks. Say you'll see me again, even if it's just in your wildest dreams. I said no one has to know what we do. His hands are in my hair, his clothes are in my room, and his voice is a familiar sound. Nothing lasts forever, but this is getting good now. He's so tall and handsome as hell. He's so bad, but he does it so well. And when we've had our very last kiss, my last request is, say you'll remember me, standing in a nice dress, staring at the sunset, babe. Red lips and rosy cheeks. Say you'll see me again, even if it's just in your wildest dreams. You'll see me in hindsight, tangled up with you all night, burning it down. Someday when you leave me, I bet these memories follow you around. You'll see me in hindsight, tangled up with you all night, burning it down. Someday when you leave me, I'll bet these memories follow you around. Say you'll remember me, standing in a nice dress, staring at the sunset, babe. Red lips and rosy cheeks. Say you'll see me again, even if it's just pretend. Say you'll remember me, standing in a nice dress, staring at the sunset, babe. Red lips and rosy cheeks. Say you'll see me again, even if it's just in your wildest dreams. Even if it's just in your wildest dreams. There's vocalization in there, but I didn't do it because if I like speak it with me speaking it, it sounds dumb. That's my favorite 1989 song, so I felt like I had to do it for this video. But our next one is much shorter and from another one of my favorite albums. This is probably my favorite from Folklore, but it's a bonus track. I think it's like the only bonus track for Folklore, which that's unfortunate that I only had one, but we did get Evermore that same year, so. But my favorite track from Folklore, which is like my second favorite album if I had to pick, favorite track from that album is The Lakes, and it's much shorter than Wildest Dreams, and All Too Well. Is it romantic how all my elegies eulogize me? I'm not cut out for all these cynical clones, these hunters with cell phones. Take me to the lakes where all the poets went to die. I don't belong, and my beloved neither do you. Those Windermere peaks look like a perfect place to cry. I'm setting off, but not without my muse. What should be over burrowed under my skin in heart-stopping waves of hurt. I've come too far to watch some name-dropping sleaze tell me what are my words worth. Take me to the lakes where all the poets went to die. I don't belong, and my beloved neither do you. Those Windermere peaks look like a perfect place to cry. I'm setting off, but not without my muse. I want auroras and sad prose. I want to watch wisteria grow right over my bare feet, 'cause I haven't moved in years. And I want you right here. A red rose grew up out of ice-frozen ground, with no one around to tweet it, while I bathe in cliffside pools with my calamitous love and insurmountable grief. Take me to the lakes where all the poets went to die. I don't belong, and my beloved neither do you. Those Windermere peaks look like a perfect place to cry. I'm setting off, but not without my muse. Not without you. That's like my all-time favorite from Folklore. I have so many favorites from that album because I like it so much, but The Lakes, especially instrumentally, the original version, that has my heart. You can't get me to hate that song. This next song is from the twin album to Folklore, Evermore, another one of my favorites, and this song is called Champagne Problems. You booked the night train for a reason, so you could sit there in this hurt. Bustling crowds or silent sleepers, you're not sure which is worse. Because I dropped your hand while dancing, left you out there standing, crestfallen on the landing, champagne problems. Your mom's ring in your pocket, my picture in your wallet. Your heart was glass, I dropped it, champagne problems. You told your family for a reason, you couldn't keep it in. Your sister splashed out on the bottle, now no one's celebrating. Dom Perignon, you brought it, no crowd of friends applauded. Your hometown skeptics called it champagne problems. You had a speech, you're speechless. Love slipped beyond your reaches, and I couldn't give a reason, champagne problems. Your Midas touch on the Chevy door, November flush and your flannel cure. This storm was once a madhouse. I made a joke, well it's made for me. How evergreen our group of friends. Don't think we'll say that word again. And soon they'll have the nerve to deck the halls that we once walked through. 1 for the money, 2 for the show. I never was ready, so I watch you go. Sometimes you just don't know the answer till someone's on their knees and asks you. She would have made such a lovely bride. What a shame she's fucked in the head, they said. But you'll find the real thing instead. She'll patch up the tapestry that I shred. And hold your hand while dancing, never leave you standing, crestfallen on the landing with champagne problems. Your mom's ring in your pocket, her picture in your wallet. You won't remember all my champagne problems. This next one is also from Evermore. And it's another one of my favorites. RIP to this one in the Eras Tour set list because that was my favorite live performance. But this one is called Tolerate It. I sit and watch you reading with your head low. I wake and watch you breathing with your eyes closed. I sit and watch you. I notice everything you do or don't do. You're so much older and wiser, and I wait by the door like I'm just a kid. Use my best colors for your portrait. Lay the table with the fancy shit and watch you tolerate it. If it's all in my head, tell me now. Tell me I've got it wrong somehow. I know my love should be celebrated, but you tolerate it. I greet you with a battle hero's welcome. I take your indiscretions all in good fun. I sit and listen. I polish plates until they gleam and glisten. You're so much older and wiser, and I wait by the door like I'm just a kid. Use my best colors for your portrait. Lay the table with the fancy shit and watch you tolerate it. If it's all in my head, tell me now. Tell me I've got it wrong somehow. I know my love should be celebrated, but you tolerate it. While you were out building other worlds, where was I? Where's that man who threw blankets over my barbed wire? I made you my temple, my mural, my sky. Now I'm begging for footnotes in the story of your life. Drawing hearts in the byline, always taking up too much space or time. You assume I'm fine, but what would you do if I break free and leave us in ruins? Took this dagger in me and removed it. Gain the weight of you, then lose it. Believe me, I could do it. If it's all in my head, tell me now. Tell me I've got it wrong somehow. I know my love should be celebrated, but you tolerate it. I sit and watch you. If you've never heard Tolerate It, like, actually sung, listen to it. That entire album, again, Evermore is just, like, so beautiful. Folklore, Evermore, and 1989 are probably, like, my top 3 albums if I had to pick. But we're coming back to Folklore for our second to last song. It's another longer one, but a super good one, and I think it's like the most popular one from Folklore. And it is called Cardigan. Vintage tea, brand new phone, high heels on cobblestones. When you are young, they assume you know nothing. Sequin smile, black lipstick, sensual politics. When you are young, they assume you know nothing. But I knew you, dancing in your Levi's, drunk under a street light. I knew you, hand under my sweatshirt, baby kiss it better. And when I felt like I was an old cardigan under someone's bed, you put me on and said I was your favorite. A friend to all is a friend to none. Chase 2 girls, lose the one. When you are young, they assume you know nothing. But I knew you, playing hide and seek and giving me your weekends. I knew you, your heartbeat on the high line once in 20 lifetimes. And when I felt like I was an old cardigan under someone's bed, you put me on and said I was your favorite. To kiss in cars and downtown bars was all we needed. You drew stars around my scars, but now I'm bleeding. 'Cause I knew you, stepping on the last train, marked me like a blood stain. I knew you, tried to change the ending, Peter losing Wendy. I knew you, leaving like a father, running like water. And when you are young, they assume you know nothing. But I knew you linger like a tattoo kiss. I knew you'd haunt all of my what-ifs. The smell of smoke would hang around this long, 'cause I knew everything when I was young. I knew I'd curse you for the longest time, chasing shadows in the grocery line. I knew you'd miss me once the thrill expired, and you'd be standing in my front porch light. And I knew you'd come back to me. And you'd come back. And when I felt like I was an old cardigan under someone's bed, you put me on and said I was your favorite. Our final song, I wouldn't necessarily say this album is like one of my like top favorites. It's not even in the top 5, let's be honest. At least for me. But it's new, and I do have a favorite from Tortured Poets Department. I stayed up until 4 a.m. the night it came out. The night it came out, I took a nap at around 11 p.m., woke up a little after midnight after the main album came out, and then while I was listening to, I was like halfway through the main album, it was 2 a.m. and she released the part 2, the anthology. I have opinions on Tortured Poets Department that diehard Swifties might crucify me for, both from a writer's perspective and like a music lover perspective. My first initial listen wasn't very good, and I had really high hopes because I love Post Malone and I love Taylor Swift, and I know they're both incredible songwriters, and their track 1, Fortnite, was like the first single. I was very disappointed. I wish Post had more lines in it. But I love the anthology so much more than the main album. And my favorite song from the anthology is actually a tie between the Albatross and the Prophecy. Before it even came out, like when they were just bonus tracks, there was like 4 songs from the anthology that were bonus tracks, like sold as separate DVDs on Taylor's merch site. I knew for a fact when I get to listen to those bonus tracks that the Albatross would have been my favorite one, and it's probably because I'm a Bungo Stray Dogs fan, and in Stormbringer, the light novel Stormbringer, there is a character called Albatross, but I like called that one as my favorite before the songs even came out, and then they were in the anthology, and turned out like from the get-go I loved the Albatross. So the Albatross is our final song that I will be reading for this video. Wise men once said, wild winds are death to the candle. A rose by any other name's a scandal. Cautions issued, he stood shooting the messengers. They tried to warn him about her. Cross your thoughtless heart, only liquor anoints you. She's the Albatross, she is here to destroy you. Wise men once said, one bad seed kills the garden. One less temptress, one less dagger to sharpen. Locked me up in towers, but I'd visit in your dreams, and they tried to warn you about me. Cross your thoughtless heart, only liquor anoints you. She's the Albatross, she is here to destroy you. Devils that you know raise worse hell than a stranger. She's the death you chose, and you're in terrible danger. And when that sky rains fire on you, and you're persona non grata, I'll tell you how I've been there too, and that none of it matters. Wise men once read fake news, and they believed it. Jackals raised their hackles, you couldn't conceive it. You were sleeping soundly when they dragged you from your bed, and I tried to warn you about them. So I crossed my thoughtless heart, spread my wings like a parachute. I'm the Albatross, I swept in at the rescue. The devil that you know looks now more like an angel. I'm the life you chose in all this terrible danger. So cross your thoughtless heart. She's the Albatross, she is here to destroy you. And with that, those are a few of my favorite songs from Taylor Swift's discography. There's a lot more. It's like so much more. I didn't include anything from Speak Now, but I could have. But I'm indecisive, and I think my favorite ones from both Speak Now and Midnights are like too sad for ASMR, or it'd be too weird if I just like spoke them and didn't sing them because I can't sing. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video.